Alright, so in this tutorial, you're gonna be making this, right? It's a fancy cube, and it has a what you call a Booleaned hole or insert of a cylinder. Okay, it's pretty neat. And then let me just turn off my grid here for a moment. It's a bit distracting. So press 1 for the low poly. Okay. Press 3 for the high poly, or also known as subdivided model, sub-D model. So 1 and 3. I talked about this before, so I'll just I won't go over it again and waste more time. Anyhow, this is what it looks like. Okay. And here are the steps as usual. Right. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide it. Press H. I'm gonna bring back my grid. Right. Let me just review a couple of things. First of all, the camera, the perspective camera settings. I'm gonna select it from the outliner. Then I'm gonna go to my attribute editor. If you do not see these tabs for whatever reason, it's this one right here. This will pop it up, back up. Where's my channel box? Oh, there it is. Anyway, so from here, attribute editor. Okay. Focal length, set it to 90. I've explained it why. It prevents perspective distortion from the vanishing points, vanishing lines. And then near clip plane, set it to 0.1. Where is this should be 0.1. 0.01. 0.01. Okay, 0.01 for the near clip plane. That allows the camera to zoom in a lot without it clipping and going through the model. I've talked about it before in the previous tutorial, but I want to be nice and kind of go over it for a bit. Alright, so that's already what, freaking 3 minutes. And next, we need to create a cube. Let me go back to my channel box. I want to create a cube. And here's our cube. This is from our custom menu set. If you're not familiar, it's also under Create, Polygon Primitives, Cube. Okay? I'm gonna make my cube. There's my cube. Like I mentioned before, always be aware of your front, your left, your right, and your back. Always be aware. And then for the cube, I need to go into its inputs, channel box, inputs, click on it. The width, height, and depth to subdivide the cube. Highlight all of it, press 2. Right? And that's from selecting it, clicking on that, 2, 2, 2. And I'll explain why afterwards. Then I need to turn on symmetry object X. So symmetry object X, symmetry object X. So anything I do on the side of the X, which is red, right? This will follow it. It will do a symmetry or reflection modeling. All right, so those are done. And 1 second. So what I did now is I just grayed it out. Okay, I didn't put a cross out in case you need to take a look at it. Now I did this as well. All right, symmetry. I need to select the upper edges in here, this edge and this edge. And what's gonna happen from that is I'm gonna make this big old dent, this big old bevel right there. Select it. Let me hide this, select that, hold down the right mouse button. I repeat, hold down the right mouse button, choose edge, select that, hold shift and select that. Then I'm going to go hold down shift, also hold on the right mouse button again, together, bevel edge, boom. And I'm going to set the fraction to 0.3 for a fraction. Press enter. There you have it. Alright. Click outside for a bit to get out of the tool. Okay. Then I'm going to select the corner lower edges down here. Right? Down here. Remember where you are, front. You don't want to be selecting here and here. You want to be selecting here, here, and here. Always remember where you are. It happens all the time when you're first learning. Down here, then I need to go shift and right mouse button. Shift, right mouse button together. Hold it. Bevel edge. It's too much. Set the fraction to 0.1. There you go. And as you can see, you can start blocking in things rather quickly. Next. From here, I need to create a cylinder. Because the cylinder I'm going to use to cut a hole inside of it. This is your cylinder. Boom. It's huge, but we don't have to worry for a bit. In here, I'm going to just click on this right here. Okay. And the inputs. Subdivision axes, right? I need to get rid of that. Click outside for a bit. Damn it! Press W to get rid of it. Right, click on that. Now the axes, I have a lot of faces that I don't need. I'm gonna type in 16. Boom. 16. Caps. Subdivision caps, set it to 2. Because I'm gonna be using these this line for modeling later on. That's the reason why I put that there. Okay. I'm gonna select it. I need to rotate it 90 degrees in the X. Here's my front. Rotate X. Type in 90 for the channel box. Right. Then I need to scale it down. So I see my scale X, Y, and Z. Scale it down to 0.2. Now it's much smaller. Then I need to pull the cylinder outward. Just pull it out right around here. I'm gonna press 4. So however much I pull it out, this is how much it will make the hole insert how deep it is. So let's say right around here. Press 5 or shaded right around there. But the moment it goes through, the Boolean action is not going to work. Something like that maybe. Okay. Next, I need to select the cube. Right, select the cube first. Then the cylinder. Okay. Then I'm going to hold down the shift and the right mouse button as usual. Shift and the right mouse button. And hold it all the way down to Booleans. Okay, I'm still holding my shift and my right mouse button. And difference A and B. Boom. And that is your very first Boolean action. And I press Q to hide my move tool. W to bring it back. Okay, so this here is your attribute editor, right? And you notice sometimes, let's see if you have something like that. You might have accidentally done this, where you selected the wrong order. Then you just go back into your attribute editor and just left click on it, drag it back on top, and there you have it. So there is flexibility. I want to show you that as well for the attribute editor. I'll click on my channel box. Right? So I described that this is the order of operation. Okay. Next, I need to select the cube, right? And then I need to, will it be the cube? Yeah, the cube. And then from there, I need to delete the history. So the reason why is that the history has the information that the actions that was performed. Right here you can see the inputs, the booleans, right? So, and this thing is still alive, meaning that, see, if I look inside of it, you can manipulate it, which is, cool to a certain extent, but I need to finalize it. So that's meaning to delete the history. So that's edit, delete by type, history, right? But I have it here. This custom list is also on the tutorial from previous videos, so make sure you have it. Alright, so I deleted the history. And I explained why. Because it will wreck your model if you don't delete the history. When you do large modeling functions like booleans. Okay, then I need to be in face mode. Face mode. Okay, right click and hold, right mouse button, click and hold, choose face. There you go. Okay, so from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a thing called extraction, meaning I'm going to grab this and this, right, and the inside of here. Okay, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to press and hold the tab key. Okay, press the tab key. Then I'm going to left mouse click and drag select. Left mouse button, click and drag select all the front faces. So I'm gonna see how my cursor changed. So I'm gonna left click and hold it and drag and just rub it out. Rub select, you could say. Hold tab and select that too. Make sure that I did not select anything that I'm not supposed to, so double check. And again, this is the reason why we have to know where we are in the 3D world. See? So I select all of that. And let me just change this color. Right. From here, shift and right mouse button, extract faces. Shift, right mouse button, hold it, extract faces down here. Right. Extract faces is also here. That guy right there. Okay, so we extracted it, but if you notice in my outliner, it changed. Now I have all this stuff that I previously talked about in another tutorial. And when you do something like an extraction, it's a major modeling action. So since I did that, I need to delete my history again, which is, I'm gonna grab it here. If you notice, something disappeared. My transform node, I'm gonna undo it. See? And you see all this other stuff in here. Poly separate, poly chip off, all that. If I press delete history, boom. See, it's gone. And that down there is gone too. And delete history is this one. And like I mentioned before, edit, delete by type, history. Okay, so did all of that. Extracted the faces. Delete the history, check. Alright, so let's take a look at what we just did. Right click, object mode. So what I just did right now, right, it was still in faces. Right? Then if you want to go back to object mode, right click and hold object mode. So yeah, so this is its own face. This is its own face in the model. The reason why I did this is because these vertices, right, they need to attach to the model, the main body. But then there's a glitch in Maya where if the whole model is one piece and then you have multiple faces, right? Say this one right here, face, edge, 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 right? Then a lot of times the modeling, it just glitches and it just doesn't work. But when you extract it, right, then you can work around it. It sounds confusing, but it happens a lot. And yeah, it's frustrating. So this prevents that glitching. Okay, so I explained why for that. Okay, and then I'm gonna do one more thing. So here's this cylinder wall, right? The Boolean, right? Extracted. I need to select the cylinder edges. So for example, right click, hold edge mode. I'm gonna select that. Now let me hide my grid for a moment. This grid right there. I'm gonna press Q, hide my tool, hold down Shift and select, select, select. Okay. Make sure I don't select anything else. Right. All around. Then I'm gonna hold Shift right mouse button together, bevel edge. Okay. And this is too much. So I'm gonna do the 0.15. Yeah, 0.15. And what I just did right now, see this? That is this. See? See it right there? Now if, like I mentioned before, if this wall, right, and this, the main body, if they were one piece, right, and I made this bevel, right, and you see how I have these floating vertices, like I mentioned, you cannot, a lot of times Maya won't let me or won't let you stitch it back together. It's weird like that. So again, further explanation, it's just necessary to talk about it. Alright, so that's 18 minutes. I'm gonna cut the video short, not short, but because it's already 18 minutes long. And then from there, I'm gonna finish off the last part, last half, which is all of this. Right, it looks like a lot, but then it should be done by the next video. Yeah. Okay, and I think that's about it. And let me just explain also why I had these this here and this, right? If you remember how I added let me make a cube. I went in here and I did this, right? Why I subdivided it is that when modeling, these midlines, they need to be used to help stitch things back together. See? They coordinate and work together. Like the midline, you see the midline of my cube, right? Okay. See the midline? How it eventually is going to connect to the cylinder's midline. See this midline and this midline? They all have to be stitched back together. That's the reason why I put here, 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 and here, and here. So you have to kind of work like 2 steps in advance and think about stitching more complicated lines back together, like a jigsaw puzzle in a way. like sewing something complicated, you could say. So that's the reason why we did that before, previously. I just wanted to explain it because I didn't before. Alright, so that's the end of that tutorial. It's total 20 minutes. Okay, next video is gonna come up afterwards. Alright, bye.